Welcome to the Week 7 HSEL Overwatch game. We will be finding out the opponent in the next minute, but your starting lineup for today is going to be Jose, username JoseDragon25 on tank. DPS are going to be Jaden, username Keys, not pictured on this roster, along with Leo, username LWSmith8. On support, we're going to have Madison, username Yeah, and Deacon, username Dire Raven. Here is the merch store. I'm going to put the merch link in chat. Go check it out. In the next couple seconds, we are going to be finding out who today's opponent is. There is one more week left for your HSEL Overwatch team before playoffs. And it looks like we're going against North High Supernovas. We're just going to use... Okay. I'm just going to switch it to in-game really quick before I go through some schedules before stream. Yeah, we're going against the Supernovas today from North High. And then, while they are setting up that lobby, we're just going to go through some schedules for next week. On Monday, 6 p.m., it is going to be the finals for the WIHSEA Overwatch team, which is the State League Overwatch team. We're going against Walden for the final title. Tuesdays is going to be Varsity Valorant at 4 p.m. I do not have a card for that yet, but 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Tuesdays Varsity Valorant is going to be playing their Week 1 game. Also on Tuesday, 6 p.m., it is the Minecraft team streams. You can find those links to the student Twitch channels on the Instagram and Twitter, which is just Case HS Legends. It is the final week for that. Wednesdays is going to be first week for Varsity League of Legends at 4 p.m. And then Thursdays, there's going to be JV Valorant 4 p.m. along with the Week 8 last week game for the HSEL team at 6. I'm going to pull up the control rules here. That is going to be the game mode we are starting on today. Control. Both teams attempt to capture the same point. Similar to King of the Hill, they must reach 100% to win, but they constantly swap control and push each other into overtime. The way that capturing the point works is that if your team is touching it and nobody from the other team is touching it, you can capture that point, and the percentage on the top middle of the screen goes up for you. And then if anybody from the other team touches the point, the timer stops. Like, it does not keep going up. It is contested. It just keeps going back and forth, and whoever reaches 100% wins. It still looks like we are setting up the lobby. If anybody has any questions at any point throughout the matches, throw them in the chat, and along with that, if you have anybody in particular you want spectated or think needs to be spectated a little bit more, throw that in chat as well. I'll do my best to swap in between people as much as I can. Alright, it looks like we got the other team in the lobby. So we should be getting started here shortly. Alright, going into first map, we are on Lijiang. Since it is HSEL Overwatch, the rule is I can only spectate from our players' perspectives. There's gonna be no free cam or like around the map. So it's just our players' perspectives the whole time. In the next 3 seconds, we're going to figure out who is playing what and what type of comp we are going to be running. So it looks like we have Dire Raven, Deacon on Moira, Madison Aya on Mercy, Leo LW Smith A on Symmetra, Jose Dragon 25 on Orisa, and Jaden Keys on Torbjorn. We're gonna go and start out on the perspective of Jaden. Use the teleporter from Symmetra to get onto point. They quickly lower the health of the Genji. Switching over to Jose's perspective, pushing on that right-hand bridge. They're running a very brawly type comp. We get a pick on the Reaper and a pick on the Lucio. That means the Supernovas are down too. One of them being a support. They can't hold up in the fight too much longer. Their tank just gets pushed off the edge. They've only got 2 left, a DPS and a support. They can't really push up with that. They have to wait for a regroup. Case just kind of grouping up together, figuring out where they want to set up. We can go into a little bit of Leo's perspective here. They take out the Junk and the Orisa from the other team. They swapped off Ramatra onto an Orisa. Means the Supernovas are down 2. 1 DPS, 2 supports left. One of our supports gets taken out. Case is just down a support. They get the res off. Though our tank gets taken out. We have 4. They just have to hope to stay grouped up on point and shoot that tire out. If they do not shoot that tire, they're going to be down a couple. The tire takes out 1 DPS and 1 support from Case. We are going to have to do a reset here. That's a TP out from our Symmetra. We are just going to regroup and push the left-hand side of point. As far as ultimates go, we have Terra Surge and we have Valk. We're almost up to Simwall and we're almost up to Cole. I'm going to go... And here is Valk coming out from Case. There is Surge from Case as well, but Beat comes out from the Supernovas. Surge gets a pick on the Lucio. There is a pick on their tank as well, but a res comes out for their tank. We get a pick on the Hanzo. A res on our Symmetra. There is another tire coming out from the Supernovas. Case is going to have to spread out or shoot down that tire. The tank gets taken out. Looks like the tire did most of the damage towards that. And it is just 2 of Case left on point. It's going to have to be a full reset. We are at 61% while the Supernovas are just approaching 50. Our Torb gets taken out. Full reset from Case. Case uses res here. I do apologize if there's any lag on stream. Stream seems to be holding up fine. I just... there might be some game lag. We get a pick on their tank. Our Orisa swaps onto a Hog. Case is taking point back. There's a Simwall coming out. Another tire from the Supernovas. Goes to the window. Gets a pick on 3. That was a huge tire for the Supernovas. Dragons also comes out from the Supernovas. There's just 2 left from Case on point. They do not get touched, so the first round of control goes to the Supernovas. Control is a best of 3 map. Still on Lijiang, but we are in the sub map. Is that one of the 3 maps of it? So I would call it like a sub category of maps. But we are on Control Center now. We have a swap onto Zarya from our tank, a swap onto Mei from our Torb, and then a swap onto Kiriko from the Mercy. And it looks like a swap off of Sim onto Cass. So we're running a very brawly type comp here, especially with our Zarya. The other team is back onto their Ramatra, still running a brawl comp, but with a lot of poke damage behind the tank. Control point is now open for capture. They get a pick on our Cass, so we are down 1. Not enough to fully pull back yet. The Supernovas get to cap point first. We have some contesting going on from our tank. Our tank gets taken out. Might have to be a full reset from Case here. Yeah, we got 2 others taken out, so we have to do a full reset. Full group up, either reapproach, come from a different angle, try a new strategy. It looks like we do have some swaps, though. We had a swap off of Mei onto Pharah and a swap off of Zarya onto Sig. Supernova is currently up to 50% on the point. That is a ult from the Ramatra. On their team, we do have Cole built up, but we have gotten one support and one DPS taken down. It might be a full regroup. We do have Cole Essence, we have Barrage, and we have Kitsune Rush. So we have 3 ultimates. There is a tire coming out, and dragons from the Supernovas. The tire gets a pick on too, which is that's a good tire. With any of those ultimates, you're just hoping to get use out of them at all. Not necessarily a play of the game 5 kill tire, but you're just hoping to get some sort of value out of it. We have a swap off of Sig onto Doom. There's Kitsune from Case and Barrage. They get a pick on our Hanzo. They used Beat. Supernova's currently at 99% on the point. As long as we keep touch, we can hold the point and have a chance of capturing it. One of our DPS gets taken down. It looks like it is just our tank on point. Two more people have made it back onto point with our tank. Case does capture the point. We have to hold it for the entirety of 100 seconds now. We do have Doom's ult. And again, if anybody wants anybody in particular spectated this whole time, or has any questions about Overwatch itself, please throw them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. It just probably won't happen to the end of a round. And here's Meteor Strike coming out from Case. Does not get any picks, but does pretty good damage on the Mercy. We get a pick on the Junkrat. The swap to the Doom was probably a good call for us. There's a pick on the Hanzo, but they also get a pick on our Cass. Doom is just a very movement-based character. Like, you have to, it like allows you to move as much around the map as you'd want, which really helps with them trying to dance around this point and keep touch. The other team did swap to an Orisa. There's another tire coming out. We have to shoot the tire, but it looks like the tire's just making its way around, or it exploded and just did damage and no kills. We are down a support now. It is pretty much just our Doom on point as far as damage goes. We just have to hope for our Kiriko to get touch. And it looks like the control round is going to go to the Supernovas. And that is a play of the game from Case's Jose Dragon 25 on Orisa from the first map. That is a spin push with the Lucio, and then he pushes the Ramatra off. It's a good play. Double kill. Now, just give me a second to update the score. There will probably be no in-game audio while I'm updating score. I'm going to quickly read the rules for the next game mode, which is going to be hybrid. Attackers attempt to capture the first point and escort a payload to the end of the map. Defenders try to stop the attackers from capturing the point and or stopping the payload movement. Players swap sides after the round, and whoever gets the furthest wins. Looks like Case is going to be attacking first And we're going to be playing on King's Row, which is the map picture on the far right of the screen that's up right now. So it's going to be very similar to Control, where there's the point, except there's no percentage on it. It's just capturing it for 3 ticks. Once it's captured, you get a little cart to push along. Same as Control, the way that you can capture and escort the point. You have to have only your team touching it for progress to go up. If anybody from the other team touches it, your progress does not go, like, up. If nobody is touching it, payload moves backwards. Same as timer, except the timer, if you complete a tick, it does not go back down. With the cart, 3 people on the cart moves it the fastest. 1 person is the slowest. It'll make more sense once we get into the game mode when you can fully see it. But it looks like we are going to jump right back in. And again, Case is going to be attacking first. We will be the red team. The Supernovas are going to be the blue team. By the looks of it, most of these characters that they're picking now may just be for vision on this high ground, because then they can build their comp around it. But we have a Deacon Dire Raven on the Moira, Madison on Brig, Leo on Genji, Jose on Doomfist, and Jaden on Widowmaker. It may just be picks, again, to have sight. But it looks like we're going to have the Widow going for the headshot right away on the Hanzo. Does not get the pick, but gets picked himself. It's always a risky move with that, but it looks like we are going to keep running with the Doomfist. It was not just for sight. Again, I do apologize if there's any lag on stream. Stream seems to be running fine for me. Overwatch might be a little iffy. We get a pick on their Hanzo, but they get a pick on our Doom. One of our supports and one of our DPS goes down, so it's going to have to be a full team reset for Case. Only our Moira made it out alive. Looks like we're trying to go for a dive comp with the movement. We're going for more pokey movement comp. Our Pharah gets 2 picks. Our Pharah gets taken out, but we also take out their tank. Our Mercy gets taken out, but they take out the Hanzo, and then our Moira gets taken out. We take out their Symmetra, so it's pretty much just back and forth picks. But we do overall win the team fight. We have 2 people on point, as you can see in the top middle. There's an A with like 3 different sections of blue around it. Oh, Case is blue. And the Supernovas are red. That was my bad before. But we have fully captured the point. Now we're on to the payload portion. We have to push the payload as far as we can across that line at the top. That just kind of is the whole map there. The little pink square in the middle is going to be the checkpoint. It looks like one of our supports and our tank gets taken out. That is a sim wall coming out from the Supernovas. One of our supports, or DPS gets taken out, sorry. And that they also take out one of their DPS, but there was the res that came out. We do currently have Barrage, and we're almost up to Tire. And we have Valk too. There is the barrage. That is a huge barrage, but Vel comes out from the other team. Our tank gets taken out, sadly, by the sim turret. There's Terror Surge from the Supernovas. They just burned 3 ults. Even if we don't lose, or even if we don't win this fight, they did burn 3 ults, which is worth it in the end. We take out one of their DPS. We now have Cole built. Our tank gets taken out. That is another sim wall. They built that really fast. We have a swap onto Soldier. We take out one of their DPS. We take out their Mercy. That is a dragon from the Supernovas. Their Hanzo gets taken out. Our tank gets taken out. Supernovas are down to tank. We did overall win that fight. We still have 3 ults. That's another sim wall from the Supernovas. There's Flux from Case. Terra Surge from the Supernovas. Kitsune from Supernovas. And Case is gonna still try to hold, but they're gonna ultimately have to fully back up. We do get a pick on one of their DPS. We get a pick on the Orisa. Our tank gets res, so we can keep holding this corner. They get a pick on the Mercy. Pick on the Kiriko. Supernova with no supports. We still have Cole. We've been hanging out for Cole for a while. We should hopefully... This should be used for our next engage. We are almost back up to another Flux and another Velk, and we do have Visor. There's another sim wall from the Supernovas. We just built Flux. We just need to be more smart about how we use our ults and when we use our ults. If we hold on to them for too long, it's just not worth it. Even if we use it and waste it. We used Flux and Visor. Visor gets 2 picks. Flux doesn't get any picks, but we do get a pick on the tank. There is Cole finally coming out from Case. That is Kitsune, Rush from the Supernovas. Case being forced to back off. One of our supports gets taken out. We get a pick on their Junkrat. That is Deadeye from Supernovas, but it's a res on our end. We do have a pick on one of their supports and one of their DPS. Tiger goes straight for the other Junkrat. 11 seconds remain. Case just has to keep touch to trigger overtime to push it the rest of the way. There is a Ramatra ult from the Supernovas. Gets a pick on 2. We get a pick on both of their supports. It's just our Mercy on point. She's holding it for as long as she can. And that is the end of Case's attacking phase. We essentially just have to defend well enough to not let them push all the way. For defense, we have Deacon on Bap, Madison on Mercy, Leo on May, Jose on Reinhardt, and Jaden on Reaper. We get an early pick on the Supernova's tank. Looks like they are running in a Risa Barali comp with some poke. They do get a pick on one of our DPS. We get a pick on their support. They just need to play around the side of statue here, like where they're set up now. That is a huge shatter. Sadly, our tank gets taken out. One of our supports is down, but we got one of their supports and one of their DPS. Our tank got rezzed. We just need to play safe around the side of statue, and we would have probably been fine there. It's going to be a full team reset here, though. It looks like it was maybe just a Mercy and a DPS alive. Could have been both supports. But we are just going to have to sacrifice point here and hope to defend payload the whole time. They have just over 4 minutes and 30 seconds to stop the payload from getting to that first checkpoint. I think the overall problem here is that we are playing pretty spread out. We do have a switch onto a Zarya. There's a pick on one of our DPS, a pick on one of our... Both of our DPS are down. One support's down. One tank's gone. We are just a Mercy on point, who sadly gets taken out. Like, the overall thing that we need to change for what we're playing with right now is everybody needs to stay more grouped up, or they need to switch to poke comp. Their macho just keeps pushing them down. That's all their tank has been doing, is just they want to be in your face, constant fighting. They need to run more either poke or outbrawl them. But Case is up to window, tire, and there's Blizzard from Case. Beat comes out. The Supernovas, pretty sure got cancelled. Like, didn't have enough cast time. Looks like it's just 2 remaining from the Supernovas. We do have window and tire for next fight, and we're almost up to Grav. They do get a pick on one of our supports, so we do have to play more careful and back. One of the support that was down got rezzed. There's Grav. Okay. But our tank gets taken out. One of our DPS is taken out. One support is taken out. That is a huge tire from Case. Gets 2 support and the tank. And they got payload to the checkpoint. They have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to get it. Another 61 meters to beat us. We get a pick on their Junkrat. There's another Blizzard from Case, but there's a tire coming from the Supernovas. Tire comes around, gets 2. Our tank and one of our DPS were taken out. There's only pretty much 20 meters left for the Supernovas to push the cart. Valk comes out from Case. We don't have anywhere else for this fight. They have to hope to push with this, that, but we have both DPSs are out. We have 1 support up. There's Beat coming out from Supernovas. It looks like it's just our Mercy on point. Less than a meter remains for them to push. And we did not have touch, so it looks like the Supernovas are gonna take the hybrid round. And there's a play of the game from Case's Leo on May. That was a huge... It was a 3 or 4 man Blizzard, which allowed for a whole team wipe to happen. And then while I'm updating score, there may be no game audio. We are now on to the 3rd round, which is Escort. Attackers attempt to move a payload to different points throughout the map. Defenders try to stop the attackers from moving the payload to the points. Players swap sides, and whoever moves the payload the furthest wins. It's pretty much just the second half of Hybrid. It's that part where you push the cart. It's that, but it's just the whole round of that. And they are currently figuring out which map. But it looks like we're going to be probably play on circuit. They have not updated it in the game yet. Looks like we're playing on Circuit Royale. which is the bottom left map pictured on the screen, and Case is going to be attacking first. And we are probably going to jump right back into the game. We have Deacon on Moira, Madison on Zen, Leo on Genji, Jose on Doomfist, and Jaden on Jaden swapped to Reaper. Jaden's on Reaper. Sojourn would have worked probably better into their comp with the being dive based, so I'm not sure what they're doing. They get a pick on our tank. One of our DPS gets taken out, so just one DPS and 2 supports left from K, so it's gonna have to be a full reset here. And just hope for no stall. And our tank swapped to Ball, who gets taken out. The Reaper on the other team gets taken out, though. Our Zen gets taken out. We take out their Ana. It's gonna have to be a full reset from, or just switch to more of a poke from Case. Without the full team here, they can't really push. We are all the way up to Blossom. We get a pick on their Symmetra. Their Rissa's really low. Rissa gets taken out. Looks like it's just the Lucio left. They need to get 3 on that cart. The Reaper comes from behind. We get a pick on the Reaper. We need to have 3 on the cart the whole time if we want a chance to push it all the way to the end. There is Simwall from the Supernovas. We get a pick on their Sim, but our tank gets taken out. We are up to Blizzard. They get a pick on our Reaper. Here's another Blizzard from Case. Gets 3 stuck in it. They get a pick on our Mei, but we get a pick on their Lucio and their tank. We are all the way up to Cold Blossom and Kitsune. There's a Roadhog ult. Takes out 2, maybe 3. I might not have caught the first one. We get a pick on the Echo as well. We get the cart to the first checkpoint, which gives us another 3 minutes and 20 seconds to push again. There is Blossom from the Supernovas. Doesn't get any picks. We get a pick on the Echo. Kitsune comes out from K. Sarmatra ults out from Supernova. Gets a pick on 1. Blossom from Case gets both of Supernova supports. We get their tank. There's a pick on our Reaper, but it's just their Reaper remaining, who we take out. We do currently have no ults up. There's a pick on Supernova's Reaper. So they are going to have to be worried about a couple ult push here from the other team. They get a pick on our Mei. There's Beat from the Supernovas. Our tank gets taken out. We also take out their Reaper. There's a Blizzard from Case. Gets at least 2. They were not able to push off of that though. One of our supports gets taken out, and that's gonna have to be a regroup there. Our tank is back in the fight. We do have Kitsune almost up to Cole, almost up to Blizzard. There's Kitsune from Case. There's a Blossom. Both Blossoms go out. Supernova's picks 3, Case's picks 2, and then the Ramatra ult came out along with Copy from Supernova. That was 3 ults. We still have 1. We have to use Cole here to push. Our Mei gets taken out by the Reaper. They take out the Echo. We take out the Reaper. They get both of our supports out. We just have to hold touch here if we want to push it all the way. It was a good switch to Lucio from Madison here, just to keep touch. And that is going to be the end of Case's attack side. They're not going to be on defense. They have to prevent that cart from moving 79 meters. taking on Moira, Madison on Ana, Leo on Soldier, Jose on Sigma, and Jaden on Reaper. There's an early pick on our Soldier. Case is going to have to play a lot more defensively now, and cautiously. Our Reaper is pretty overextended, hoping to get a backline pick. Case is going to have to drop soon from this high ground. With our Reaper going out, we only have one tank and two supports up. Holding cart. One of our supports gets taken down. It's just a tank and one support. And our tank gets taken out. It's just going to be a full regroup from Case. Maybe restaging high ground. We did switch off of Sagan to Ramatra. Looks like we're trying to run a super brawl comp now. One of our supports gets taken out. We take out their Reaper, but our tank gets taken out. There's just 3 left from Case. And it looks like there's just 1 left. Where that highlighted box is on the ground is where the payload has to make it. If the supernovas have to push it that far, our tank gets taken out right away. There's only 20 more meters left for them to push it. We did have Jaden switch back onto Sojourn, but he has Overclock, and Madison does have Nano. We are almost up to Cole and almost up to Blizzard. We do have to hold this spot for the next 4 minutes. Our Mei gets taken out. We take out the Genji. Our tank gets taken out. And then Blossom comes out from the Supernovas, gets a pick, which is our last touch, and unfortunately, Supernova takes the round. Here's the play of the game from Supernova's Reaper. And that is going to be the end of the game. It was a 0-3 victory for the Supernovas. Here is the merch store. I'm going to throw the link in chat again. Go check it out. And then schedules for the next week. I do not have the cards for most of them to put on screen yet. All these schedules can be found on WIHSEA, besides for the HSEL Overwatch 1. That one will either be updated once playoffs start, or you'll just have to keep up with it on Instagram or Twitter. But next week's schedules, we have WIHSEA Overwatch. It is the final game against Walden for the winner of the whole bracket, 6 p.m. On Tuesday, there's going to be Varsity Valorant at 4 p.m. It is the week 1 game. I do not know their opponent. Wednesday at 4 p.m. is going to be Varsity League of Legends week 1 game. Do not know the opponent for that either. Thursday is going to be JV Valorant, their week 1 game 2. Again, do not know the opponent, but that is at 4 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. next week Thursday is this team, the HSEL Overwatch team. Opponents are found out at game time. And that is going to be it. So thank you for coming out to today's HSEL Overwatch stream. And we'll see you all on Monday for the finals with the WIHSCA Overwatch team.